Okay, well, good evening, everybody. Welcome to our exclusive special earned gold and above call. I love these calls. We have these once a month for anyone on our 3 diamond teams that hit 100 pay points or more the month prior. So for the month of February, you all hit over 100 points, which is amazing and huge. And I'm so excited and so proud of you. I'm also really excited for what this could mean for your family, for your future. And we are focusing this past quarter, we've been focusing on the recruitment pillar. And so tonight is our last section over recruitment. And then we're going to transition into our retention pillar that we're going to be going over for the next quarter. These are all incredibly important for us as we are building a strong foundation for our business and for our team. And so I want to wrap up this recruitment series with developing leader legs, recruiting strong leaders, which will then filter into our duplication series. So today we're focusing on recruiting strong leader legs and developing those leader legs.
Hey, Emily.
Yes.
My pause. Sorry, look hideous. Don't even look. Something's really weird with your audio. There's like a buzzing, and then it's kind of getting like really loud and then really soft.
I think it's my computer. Is this any better? I'm sorry. I don't know what to do with it until I buy a new computer. Is this any better?
I think it's good. Yeah, I think it's better. It's good.
Okay, thank you for letting me know.
Thanks.
Sorry
Yeah.
about that, everyone. Okay, so if you guys have your pen and your paper, will you guys write these 3 questions down? And then I'm going to give you a few minutes to actually answer them. So the first question I want you to write down is, what is my ultimate goal with my Plexus business, meaning like rank? So what is my ultimate goal with my Plexus business? Write this down. The next question that you want to write down is, what can the gifts of Plexus bring to my loved ones? And then the third question I want you to write down is, how would you feel knowing that your yes helped ... And with that question, the last 2 questions, the what can the gifts of Plexus bring to your loved ones? With that, I mean, they're kind of similar actually, like knowing, actually, I want to change it up, you guys. I'm sorry. That second one, I wanted to say, what can the gifts of Plexus bring to my family? Which I mean is the same as your loved ones. But what can it bring to my family? Let's change it up. I want you guys to spend a couple of minutes thinking through, like doing a deep think of what your ultimate rank goal is, what the gifts of Plexus can bring to your family. And then the third question, how would you feel knowing that your yes has helped ... That could mean helping your friend get out of debt. That could mean helping your sister be able to stay home with her kids. That could mean helping your friend who feels isolated to find a community. Like all of the benefits that Plexus can bring, what does your yes allowing other people to experience that, how does that make you feel? So we're going to spend about 2 minutes with you guys writing that down, and then we're going to have a few of you guys share some of your answers. Okay. A few of you, I can't see anyone other than Chandler's screenshot, but a few of you unmute yourself and share, what is your ultimate rank goal with your Plexus business?
I'll share, Emily. My ultimate rank goal is to become a jewel.
What specifically, Jan? Do you want to be emerald,
I would,
sapphire, diamond?
I would like to be a diamond.
Beautiful. Who else?
Mine is 4-star diamond.
Multi-star diamond, earning the yacht trip.
I love that. You guys can put them in the chat too, what your ultimate rank goal is with your Plexus business if you didn't have a chance to respond. Okay, now I want a few of you to unmute yourself and share just a couple of things that the Plexus business can bring to your family.
Job freedom for my husband, freedom from debt, move closer to family. And a new car for me.
I wrote more in some income security, more travel and time together.
I put confidence, since I've been a stay-at-home mom for now 2 years, and something of my own that I can contribute to the family.
And Taylor, with you, something of your own that you can contribute, what does that give to your family?
Well, it kind of has given them me back. I've just kind of been in a I don't know, just a toddler hole. So I'm able to give a lot more.
I love that. Thank you, Taylor. Thank you, Kim.
Sure.
Lauren. Okay, so this question is my favorite question. It's a little vague though, so you have to kind of dive deep here. I know all of the diamonds and all the jewels, they have emotions that back this, like real emotions, because they do see what their yes has done for so many other people. So I want you to dive deep into thinking about that like, how would you feel knowing that you saying yes and you persevering, you doing the hard things, the uncomfortable things where you are, reaching out and following up and pushing through hardships, your yes changing the lives of so many people. How does that make you feel? A few of you share.
I put honored and then really thankful to do this business. And then as you were talking, Emily, I put emotional just because I get emotional thinking about the people that I've helped, and then not in like I'm trying to think of the exact word, but I think just honored and grateful that people trust me with their health goals, with their financial goals. I think the word honor really just comes to mind.
I wrote down grateful, and that I would feel trusted and empowered.
One more.
I also feel thankful that people trust me. I've had like 2 or 3 people reach out to me the past day or two saying they want help with their gut health, and they came to me because they trust that I will do the right thing for them.
Thank you guys for sharing. I think it's incredibly important for us to do some deep thinking into these questions often. I know for me, I remember, was it Mexico? I think it was Mexico for our Emerald Extravaganza this last September. I took my jewels out to dinner and their husbands, my husband, and we sat around the table and I just said, okay, I actually want the husbands to share what you see Plexus having done in your wife. Like, what do you see? How have you seen your wife grow over the past couple of years with her growing her Plexus business? What has it done for your family? And you guys, husbands were crying, like multiple husbands were crying, talking about how their wives saying yes to doing this and to persevering and doing hard things and leading big teams, how it has totally and completely changed everything in their families. It's this beautiful ripple effect where it's changed not only their family and their marriage and these beautiful things, internally here, but it's also been this beautiful ripple effect where they've seen, so many other lives being able to be changed. They've seen their wives step into this confidence, and just like Taylor was saying, like they've found themselves again, and it was so beautiful. And so a few of us did a recruitment training back in the fall with a leader with Beachbody. She's a phenomenal leader. Her name is Melanie Mitro. And one of the things that she talks about, and she's incredibly successful. And one of the things that she talks about is how she goes back to her why and her vision every single day. Every single day. And I think that that was really like eye-opening to me, because I know when I first started, I would like write down my why and think about my why. And just the more and more like I grew in my business, the more and more those whys were happening, and those things were happening. And it was so beautiful. And then I kind of stopped revisiting my vision and my why. And I think when we do that, then it's harder for us to show up with passion and with grit and with grace and with focus. And so I encourage you guys to go back to these 3 questions every day and reread them, adjust them as needed, modify as needed, but remember why you're showing up, because all of the steps that we give you, all of the tips that we give you are incredible. But if you don't actually believe in them, and if you don't actually have that passion and that drive and the why behind what you're doing, it's not going to be as fulfilling. You're going to be riding that emotional roller coaster, and it's not going to be like this long, beautiful journey. It's going to be just this burned out, exhausted, emotional roller coaster that's not good for anybody. So go back to those and do your deep thinking every day. Revisit your vision. So as we're talking tonight, our goal of this call is to figure out, or to tap into, how we can build wide, which means finding and growing a wide level 1 base, and then recruiting strong level 1s. So one of the things, well, I'll talk about one of the things I do in a minute, but that's what our goal is for this call tonight. I do think that, like we just talked about, like you can know all the skills, you can know all the things, but until you fully believe why you're doing what you're doing, it's going to be hard to stay committed. It's going to be hard to be consistent, and it's going to be hard to lead by example if you don't have like a positive mindset and a great understanding of why you're doing what you're doing. So when I write here, like I said, mindset first. When you are out to recruit strong leaders, really hone in on your mindset. Have a nice mindset check first. Know why you're doing this, which we just talked about. Being committed, consistent, and always leading by example. Nothing is going to kill your credibility as you're out looking for leaders and growing a team more than you not showing up. I mean, that's just the hard truth of it all. Like, this is not a lottery ticket. This is not something that we can just take off for years and then, have the next Beyonce get in touch with us and say, hey, I want to come and do Plexus with you. Like, you have, in order to be a strong leader, you've got to show up. And in order to attract leaders, you've got to be committed, consistent, and you've got to lead by example. You cannot be attached to the results. So the past couple of weeks, I've been sending really scary messages to dream team teamers. And it's been actually incredibly freeing, because I will write my message to them and I will share my heart, and I'll just briefly read over it to make sure there are no grammatical errors, grammatical errors or misspellings or anything like that. And then I just click send. And I just feel good, because I'm like, I just shared my heart. I told them why I thought they'd be amazing at this, and I just sent it. And if they decide that this is something that they want to do, I'm going to run with them and I'm going to serve them well. But if it's not their time, it's okay. I did what I needed to do. And I think that that's an incredibly freeing attitude and mindset to have as you're out looking to grow a wide level 1 base in your recruitment of leaders. John Maxwell talks all the time about how success is always harder and more and slower than you anticipate. So success is always going to take a lot longer, and it's going to be a lot harder than you anticipate. But in the end, it is so worth it. All of the experiences, all the lessons that you learn is so worth it. So have that understanding that when you send out those messages, when you make those posts, when you are focused on, building a strong wide level 1, and it's not happening immediately or as fast as you want, that's what success is. That's part of success, is having that patience and trusting the process. What is this? The 5th little mindset bullet point I have here is blinders on. This is so important. And this is something that can kill your business. This is something that can poison your heart. This is something that can poison your business. And this is something that can affect everyone around you is comparison. It is so important for us to celebrate other people, but to not get into that comparison trap, because we have no idea what is going on with the Jordans of the world and the Joannas of the world and the Laurens of the world. Like, we might see people and having all this recognition, but you have no idea what's going on. So stay in your lane, celebrate them, and you do the things that you have control over. And we're going to talk about that in just a moment too. But that is so important. If you start to notice yourself getting into that comparison trap, you have got to stop that. You have got to put the brakes on that and take control of what you're allowing to go through in your brain. And then the last thing here, as you are doing that mindset check, getting into that recruitment mode of those leaders, is just remembering that your boldness can be someone's blessing. And I share that because I would love, I can't see anybody other than Lauren Farmer right now, but in the chat, I would love for you guys to put a 1 if you've ever had the feeling of, I don't really like sharing about the business because it feels greedy. It feels like it's just all about me. It's all about me making money, inviting people to do the business. It makes me feel really uncomfortable because I don't want them to feel pressured. It's all about me. Okay, I'm seeing the chat blow up. So that must mean that that is something that people struggle with. I just want to remind you that as you grow to that rank that you had put as your goal at the very beginning of this call, you cannot get to jewel, sapphire, emerald, really like ruby or senior ruby for the most part on your own. So what that means is that you've got people underneath you who are getting healthy and they're getting a paycheck. So when I went diamond, I knew that that meant hundreds of people on my team were getting a paycheck. That's not just about me. How many people are being blessed by your yes and your boldness? So having that mindset shift of inviting people into the business and sharing about the business is not greedy. It is not selfish. It does not make you look money hungry. You can't do this on your own. And because of that, so many more people are being blessed through this. If you guys have a comment or anything, feel free to either wait to the end, or you can, if it's like in with what we're talking about, you're welcome to unmute yourself. Like I said, I can't see the chat right now. So I'm actually going to pause this share because I want to see if you have developed a silver, a level 1 silver this year, the year of 2024. I would love to see you raise your hand and just hold it up for just a minute. Okay. All right. Brianna Johnson, I'm going to call on you for just a second. How, like, when you have helped develop level 1 silvers, can you walk through like kind of your process? Like, you can include your mindset process if you want to, but just kind of like what you are doing to help those people go silver.
So I developed one this month, and so that's kind of what's on my mind as far as my process. She ordered the reset and had really, and I feel like throughout that whole process of her ordering and getting the products and doing the reset, I was constantly cheering her on, super excited, just like my excitement hopefully created excitement for her in her journey. And then she did have really good results with the reset. And so right away I encouraged her to share them. And she did. I think I asked a lot of questions too. Like I asked her, I told her, I was like, if you share, like you could earn a watch this month, or you could earn $450, like what would that help you with? Or would that be something that you would be interested in? And she said, yeah. I asked her what it was for, like what she would use the money for. And she said, like, it would go towards my daycare, for her kids. So I feel like I was doing a lot of like vision casting with her. And I think that that's why that was more successful than some of the things that I've done in the past. As well as the excitement, like, I don't know who was talking, and what training it was, but like someone was talking about like using all the gifts and like getting people excited. So I feel like I have really tuned into gifts because I like them anyway, but I'd never really used that to like motivate and like get people super excited. And so I think the vision casting and the excitement that I was projecting has helped her. And she also, like, she wanted to do it. I feel like in the past with some silvers, I was almost like holding their hand, but like pulling them. And I feel like for her, it was just like it was her time and she wants to share. She's super busy and like we've had conversations back and forth where she's like, "Hey, I'm sorry I haven't messaged you in a day. Like this and this and this was happening, but I appreciate your patience." I'm like, "Hey, I'm like here for you in this moment." Like, so I think our communication has been really good. And my mindset is like, if like I'm gonna go at her pace, but if she doesn't want it, like I'm not gonna keep pulling her along. So I don't know, getting really excited, vision casting, encouraging her to share when she's done something, moving on to the next step, asking her, like, is that something you want to do, and putting it on her plate versus like, you should do this. It's like, does that sound like something you want to do? So kind of helping her take ownership of some of the things that she's doing, I guess.
Oh,
Just
good.
better coaching, I think.
Yeah. And too, you're learning from experience. Like you talked about, like she was different than some of the other girls that you've helped where you've had to pull them along. Like you just learn from experience. And so if maybe you are still very, very new at duplication, don't get discouraged. Like let Brianna's example encourage you. Like don't get discouraged. Learn from all of your experiences. Kate Stroop, would you mind sharing a little bit too? We'll have you two right here share, but would you mind sharing a little bit of your process of how you've helped this last person go silver?
Yeah, sorry, my roommates are being loud right now. Let me close my door. Um, yeah, so I think the start of it is just on the phone. I definitely get on the phone with all my business builders. I think it's just easier to kind of get like their vision, their why, and like figure out what this would actually do for them.
Now I'm gonna stop
Um,
I'm gonna stop you there.
yeah.
Question. How did you know she was a business builder? Like how did you know she was interested in even learning about the business?
I send business reach outs mainly. And so if they say yes, I'm interested, I'll say, okay, do you have time to call tomorrow at this time? Or if not, what about this time? So I kind of figure out before I get on the phone if they're interested in just the products or the business or both. And touch on that like once I'm actually on the call, if that makes sense. And then I think from there, Taylor Utzi helped me with this. I think I, for a long time, did not vision cast well for my girls. It was kind of like, okay, silver. And that was like all I really talked about was, okay, first few people, how can I get my products paid for? But I never really went past that. And so I think talking about like, okay, like what amount of money would help you do this, or how much you need to make to be able to do this. And that really, really helped a lot of people see past silver, so that if it did go through struggles or it did get hard after silver, it was okay, well, now look at what you're actually doing this for. So I think those kind of questions definitely helped a lot of my girls see past silver and past things that went wrong from the beginning. And then trying to think what else. A lot of three-way messages I do with my girls, three-way calls for sure. I have a lot of local girls, and so I'll meet up in person a lot of times. Um, oh, I do weekly calls with them. All my new girls going silver, we do like weekly working calls for like half an hour. Honestly, just basics. I think it's just honestly, I don't have like a set in stone system. Just like being their friend, encouraging them, saying, if you need anything, I'm right here. Like you're not on your own. That's what I needed to hear. And so I think just being their friend and being there for them was the biggest part for me. And just also letting them that it's going to be hard. Like the one thing that Taylor did for me too. I think like knowing that it's not going to be sunshine and rainbows, not going to be easy all the time. Things do go wrong. Like telling that from the jump, they respect that and they appreciate that. So that's helped a lot.
You guys, these are all really, really great. And I'm excited to do a deep dive over duplication when we go over that pillar in a couple of months with this group here. But I really like what Kate said of like helping recruit leaders and people who are interested in the business. One, it started with her reaching out to them specifically about the business. And she and Brianna both helped these girls hit that first rank of silver by doing the things that Brianna and Kate did when they started. They got into three-way messages with their upline because they didn't know what they were talking about. They were posting on social media and they were messaging people. So exactly what Kate said of like, I help them just with the basics. So we're going to go back real quick. We're going to wrap this bad boy up because like I said, I don't want to try to keep it at 30 minutes, but we're going to wrap this bad boy up with a few other little tips. This is what I wrote out on how to build a wide level 1 base when it comes to your recruiting. So exactly what these two women just shared, and they did not know I was going to be calling on them. So I love this like-minded alignment here, but being bold in their reach outs and their following up messages to those potentials, the people that they really saw and believed in, of people that they thought could just be really good at this business, and they were intentional in reaching out to them about those things. Sharing business wins on social media. I remember, I think like our freezer stopped working or something when I was maybe a gold ambassador. And so all of our meats and all the things in our freezer just were bad. And so we had to throw them all away. And I remember going to the grocery store and I think taking a picture of like all my groceries in the cart or in my car and just saying something about how my weekly bonus with Plexus was able to restock my freezer that got, all the food got ruined. And I was so grateful for that. I do want to share, like, this is my take on social. And I like that you can have multiple personalities, be very successful with Plexus, and you can have so many different personalities. My personality, when I talk about the business, is I talk about the business boldly, but it's more of a like, I'm so grateful for this, like just a continual like gratitude over the business blessings. And so many of you guys commented how you kind of feel like it might feel a little gross and it might feel a little sleazy and you feel greedy talking about the business. But I think for me, if you approach it from just a total gratitude point of view, like that just feels so much better. And I've had so many people comment and message me privately about how they're so thankful to see like just how grateful I am and how it's done so much for our family. So if you're in that boat of being nervous, maybe consider sharing those business wins with a bit of gratitude in that. I have a personalized checklist that I've been sending out to people like Kate who have said like, hey, yeah, I am interested in hearing more about the business. So this is just something that I'm doing. I invite people into our community. So like once we do recruit leaders or customers, I'm inviting them into the community and I'm recognizing them. So that might mean a customer thread. That might mean our team page. That might mean, if they're okay with it, me like recognizing them on social media, because I think people just love to be recognized. People love to be seen. And this is a platform that we have, a business that we have, where we get paid to see people, you guys. Like, we get paid to love on people. We get paid to see other people. And so really lean into that. And then the last little point that I have here on how to build a wide level 1 base is, once again, to lead by example, by being a momentum creator. And that can be as you are leading just a team of customers. That can be as you're leading level 1 people who are interested in the business, but always you have to lead by example. You can't expect people to just come to you as you are in that recruitment phase. This is that checklist that I put together. Again, this is something that we might discuss later as we're doing the duplication pillar, but you're welcome to take a screenshot of this and you can create your own. This is something that I send out to my people who tell me, yeah, I'm interested in learning more about Plexus. This is something that I learned from that Melanie Mitro training that I did this fall. And this has been really helpful for me to kind of weed out the people who say they want it, but don't actually want it because they're not at that place yet where they're doing this checklist. And it also shows me the people who do want it because they are doing the checklist. So that's something that I do. And then lastly, I wanted to end with this, and then we can do Q&A if we have time. But I put together this action challenge for you guys as we are ending this call over recruiting strong leader level 1s. I want you to make a list of 5 to 10 people who you would love to have on your team. For me, if I see somebody on social media and like my heart smiles, I'm like, oh, that person is a really good person. I really, really like this person. no matter what, no matter if they've got bukus of money or whatever, like I'm going to put them on my dream team list. Unless they're with a different network marketing company, I'm not going to do that. But I will put them on my dream team list, and I will send them a message and tell them what I love about them and why I think they'd be so good at this business, and that I would love to have a conversation with them and see if they'd be open to that. It's not hard. It might be a little bit scary, but I promise you, when you send that message, I'm not saying if, I'm saying when you send those messages, your comfort zone is going to expand, and you are going to feel so dang proud of yourself that you are you're taking control of what you can take control of. You might have some dream teamers that come to you and say, hey, I want to do this business. I had one. Kara Carrington came to me and said, hey, I want to do this business. She was my very first actual like runner with my team. But you might not. And so take control of the things that you can take control of. So my action to you is write a list of 5 to 10 people who just make your heart smile, that you believe would be amazing with this business, that you would love to work with. And then I want you to send them a message. I would love for you to send them a message tonight. If you can't do it tonight, make that a priority tomorrow. And then what I want you to do is I want you to take that message that you sent, and I want you to copy it and send it over to your thread. If you have a power partner or even somebody that's on this thread or on this page right here, this video that we're doing right here, maybe find somebody that you can link arms with and run, and send them the message that you sent over. Now, bonus points, if you have a thread of business builders, then you can send that message that you sent to that thread of business builders, because that's leading by example. That's showing your team that you are working, and it's showing them some inspiration on how to send out some of those dream team scary messages. So that is all that I have for you guys tonight. Does anybody have any questions? Did I miss any questions in the chat? And Lauren, I can talk more about that checklist later. I'm happy to do that with you guys later, because it is a little bit long. Can you share an example of how you would word a post of how the paycheck has helped you? So I think I answered that right with the groceries. And then yes, Amber, I can send those over. I'll send those over to our Jules, and then our Jules can send those out to you guys, just because we're going to end this call in just a second. Does anybody else have any other questions or any other thoughts? Remember, your goal is to build wide. Tamara Holloway is my upline, and she's a very successful diamond here. And that was one of the very first things she said to me is, you want to build wide. You don't want to have just one runner. That's why they built the Star Diamond program, because they know how incredibly important that Star Diamond program is, of like having multiple leader legs. That just makes your foundation of your business so much stronger. And so have that vision as you are out recruiting and as you're out messaging people. I want the strongest leaders. I want these people to come and join me, and I can't wait for them. And if I don't message them, I know someone else will. All right, anything else? Jordan, did you want to share what you just said right there in your chat?
I just sent a message while you were talking because you told me to go do it, so that's what I did. So I shared what I sent there.
Thank you. Sorry, I didn't see what that was. That's awesome.
No, that's okay.
Really fast. So everyone take a picture of that. She's real good. Okay. You guys are awesome. And Brianna, I love that you've been into CAPS. That shows the future of your business. All right. Thank you guys for being on. Love you guys. Bye.